Good morning. It is day 21. Stayed in the hotel last night. Getting back on trail. It's pretty windy, so hopefully you can hear me. Not sure how many miles we're going to do today. We're just going to kind of wing it. First water source is in 16 miles. So ideally make it to at least there, but we will see. Also, I had leftover mac and cheese from dinner last night, so I had mac and cheese and coffee for breakfast. That is a hiker breakfast.
This is supposed to be a road.
I packed out a banana. Hello, so we just did about 16 and a half miles to the spring. They were actually really pleasant because the temperature was mild today, not too sunny, not too hot. Filled up at the spring. I have 6 liters of water, so an additional 12 pounds on my back. That's my capacity. Bones stopped to cook dinner because her sugar was feeling a little low, but my adrenaline is pumping. So I want to get to camp. I've got about 4.5 miles to get there, and then I'll think about food. The next water source is in about 20 miles, so that's why I have 6 liters on my back, because also I want to camel up tonight and then cook a hot dinner. So normally I'd carry about 4 liters for 20 miles, but I want to drink a liter before bed and have a little extra maybe to wash up. Earlier today when I was up on a ridge, I had enough reception to order a new pair of trail runners from 2 Foot Adventure. They're going to ship them to my next resupply stop and have them there by Wednesday morning for me. So shout out to them. Thankfully Bones, almost fell. Bones and I had the same size foot, so I was able to try on her shoes, and they feel pretty good. They're Topos. Whereas right now I'm wearing Ultra Lone Peaks, which have minimal cushion in the bottom. Meredith Richard, shout out to her, my nurse buddy. She sent me an article on Achilles tendonitis. So I've been doing different massages on my ankles, and that seems to really be helping. So hopefully a new pair of tires before I hit the Sierras will be a good thing. My current shoes have 400 to 500 miles on them. So I think I'm long overdue. Okay, I'm only 0.2 from my campsite. I had lunch around 10:30 this morning, and it's now close to 6:30. I can tell that my body needs food. Getting really dizzy. So I'm going to put myself into a food coma tonight. It's gonna be great. See you in the morning. It's day 22. Slept pretty well last night with the exception of a mouse trying to get into my book bag. So I moved my book bag inside my tent. Gonna try to do around 20 miles today. Starting off with a 15-mile water carry. It's only 8:30 a.m. and I have eaten a 200-some calorie payday bar, a 150 calorie breakfast bar, 2 oatmeal packets, an instant breakfast, instant coffee, a couple recent candies, and I'm still starving. I weighed myself at Hiker Town and I was down 6 pounds. I'm going to be cutting it pretty close on food till we get to Walker Pass. So even though I'm hungry, I'm not going to tap into tomorrow's snacks, because that'll just mean tomorrow I'll be extra hungry. It's a struggle. I just felt an itch on my belly, so I scratched it and then realized I had a big old grasshopper thing that I just smeared all over myself. Gross. Good morning. It's day 23. Last night I fell asleep before it even got dark, and so this morning I naturally woke up around 4 a.m. So I got out of camp by 5 a.m. We are in a very long dry stretch with no water sources. Thankfully there are 2 water caches along the way. So just about to the first water cache, 7 miles from where we camped. I'll fill up there and then maybe another 15 to the next one. And then I'll camp at that one. I think it's going to be a good day today. I also got my first look at Mount Whitney this morning. Yay! We can see the Sierras. So at the last water cache, I ran into a pretty big group of about 10 to 12 people. So it looks like Kennedy Meadows is going to be hopping by the time I get there. It's 1 o'clock. I've already done 21 miles, and there's only 3 miles to water. I'm not stopping. And not only water, but Rox is gonna meet us there. And he has my leftover snacks in a snack bag. So I'm starving. And I can eat those. So I make these videos to update my family and friends, but also it's a good way for me to kind of journal. I don't like writing, so I'd rather just talk to the camera. So I like to include the good, bad, and the ugly, and here is an ugly for the day. I got to camp, I threw all my stuff down, sat down on a rock in my shorts, looked at my phone because I had reception for the first time in 2 days, and I looked down and I'm covered in fire ants from all the way up my shorts. So that didn't go well at all. Thankfully there was no one else around to see that. Apparently fire ants like stink and sweat. Good morning. It is day 24. I was out of camp by 10 of 5 this morning, and I can tell I'm the first one on the trail because my legs are covered in spider webs. The plan is to get to Walker Pass today. It's only 18 miles, and resupply. My shoes look like they're running a little late, but there's a chance they still might get there today, even though the tracking is saying Thursday in 2 days. Bear territory. Been following bear prints for the past quarter of a mile. It's pretty neat. Some big old paw prints. Look at him. 8:30 a.m. I've done 13 and a half miles, so now I'm just kind of sitting here taking a break and have second breakfast, and also made some instant breakfast, a hot one mixed with coffee. I see the Sierras. I'm at mile 650. That means only 2,000 more miles to go. Good morning. It's day 25. Starting off with a climb to over 7,000 feet at a Walker Pass. Lots of up today. I'm going to say over 5,000 feet of elevation gain and maybe 3,000 down. So a net gain today. It's going to be a tough one. Might be hot too. Check out those new shoes. They're not going to stay brightly colored so long. The switchbacks were fun. We're in the desert again. We hiked 17 miles to the water source. Took a couple hour break because it's so hot. Relaxed. Ooh, it's getting windy. And now we're gonna climb a couple thousand feet and camp somewhere around 7,000 feet so we don't have a climb tomorrow morning. Good morning. It's day 26. We already did 8 miles to the water source and filled up. Now we've got a 6-mile climb up to, goes up about 2,500 feet, and then just a 6-mile downhill to camp. We're making really good time today, but it's very hot. Also, yesterday, I didn't mention, there was a 5.5 earthquake. I heard it when I was walking up the hill, like this low sound, but didn't really feel it. When I got to my campsite, Dallas said she was sitting up there cooking dinner, and she said it felt like the mountain was moving. There was rumor that last time there was an earthquake that big, there were rock slides, but so far haven't had any issues. So we'll see, going up. The landscape's changing. There's suddenly trees, but I don't know if I want to believe it, because the desert's done me dirty so many times. You go over the hill, and it's completely desolate again. Guess we'll see. I think the Sequoia National Forest is a conspiracy. Does this look like a forest to you? I don't think so. On a tree, taking a little bit of a break. My shoes are rubbing on the back of my ankles, so I put some KT tape on there to prevent a blister. Otherwise, my shoes are feeling really good. I got them in a size 10. Pre-trail, my shoes were a size 8.5, but because you're walking so much all day long, the tarsals in your feet spread out, so everyone's feet go up at least a size or so. So I went from 8.5 to a size 10. We'll see where I end up. So here's my new shoes. This part here has been what's bugging me. I'm not used to having that support in my Ultras. Otherwise, they're a pretty good, decent shoe. I'm satisfied. I get a little bit more stones in them than I would with an Ultra. They got a pretty wide toe box, which is great. And then they're slightly warmer. I don't think they have as good of airflow as the ultras did. But that may not be bad for the Sierras. It might keep my feet a little warmer. Tread's pretty good, pretty aggressive, no issues. I see the Sierras. We just came around the corner of a mountain to a beautiful view of the Sierras, and I haven't been able to stop smiling for the past quarter of a mile. I'm on the verge of tears because I'm so excited. We've started the descent into Kennedy Meadows. I hope when we leave the desert I'll never have to smell these awful white bushes again.